Hi, good afternoon and good morning. Welcome everyone and Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us for this very effective and timely webinar with Steve Beck. I know many of you appreciate Steve and his knowledge and enthusiasm and know him from previous work that you've done with him. But for those of you who don't know Steve, I just want to go through a little bit with you about his background, and so you have a little bit of an understanding about him. Steve Beck is a certified speaking professional and is recognized as an outstanding keynote speaker, motivator, instructor, and consultant. His seminars are lively, informative, funny, and insightful, which you will definitely see today. His knowledge stems from a 20-year career at management and vice president level. Steve is also a senior trainer for us at the Customer Service Institute of America, and his core competencies include customer service, leadership, life-work balance, goal setting, time management, and motivating a sales group. Steve challenges his audiences to go for it 100%, and you will see that today. We'll talk about how the goal setting is going to just help you so much through this year in 2018. And this, we're focusing on personal life and work life. His message stays with his audience for a long time, and he talks about how important the effect they have on others is, the importance of goal setting, and being their best every single day. Steve is the author of a couple of books, How to Have a Great Day Every Day and Leave Your Funk at the Door. He has plenty of hands-on experience helping businesses, schools, associations, and organizations reach and sustain excellence. Steve has an extensive client list spanning many years. Partial list of clients include Best Western Hotels, Ace Hardware, United Airlines, Automotive Management Institute or AMI, Montana State University, St. Anthony's Memorial Hospital, Hollywood Casinos, U.S. District Court, and the list goes on and on. So we're very excited to have Steve here today. All of you should have received through the email that you registered with a participant's guide to follow along today. Fill out the information. We're going to talk about why it's so important to write down your goals and how that improves the effectiveness of your goal setting. So please make sure you have that participant guide available. And also please note, all of the attendees here today are on mute, but we really want this to be interactive and participatory. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of the content, please move your mouse down to the bottom of your screen. You'll see something pop up about Q&A or just a chat area. And go ahead and post those. I will be announcing those questions and things to Steve as he's presenting. So again, please feel free to do that as we go. This session is also being recorded. So if you determine that this is something that's going to be really helpful for your team members or anyone else that you can think of, please send me an email at the end of the broadcast and I'll make sure that you get that link once it's loaded up. So without further ado, I would like to hand this over to Steve Beck. And Steve, welcome. We're super excited to have you today, and I know that you're going to set us up for a really successful 2018.
Christine, thank you. Good morning. Happy New Year to everyone. Or good afternoon if you're on the East Coast. I really like working with you, Christine, in the Customer Service Institute of America. So thanks a million for having me in again. And we're going to talk about goal setting, like the first slide says, goal setting, making it happen. And we're going to talk about what it is that you want to accomplish this year, the next 5 and 10 years. We're going to focus on what you really want, and chart your course. That's what today's about. Charting your course for you having and being and doing what it is that you want to have and be and do. One of the things that I want to make sure you have in front of you is the participant's guide. So it should be printed out right in front of you. So if there's 4 people in a conference room, you should each have your own participant's guide that Christine emailed you yesterday. So you want to make sure that's printed out in front of you. The other thing I want you to do today is have fun. Have a little fun. I'm going to ask you to write down your goals, or I'm going to ask you what you like, or how you can change at work or in business, how you can at home, how can you, just have fun with this. Have fun with this. You don't want to take it too seriously. It is your life, though. We have to make sure that we take it kind of seriously. It's going to be quick. I'm going to go through some of these exercises and processes quickly. We have an hour. So what you want to do is in the next, let's see, today, tomorrow, and over the weekend, complete anything that you've started here today. Now, Christine mentioned it a little while ago that I've been involved in goal setting with myself and others for years, for like 20 or 30 years. And I've seen people accomplish amazing things in their life. I remember I was facilitating a goal setting session, and this guy says, at the very end, he comes up and says, Steve, my goal is to find my biological parents. I was adopted. I'm going to find my parents. Now, a goal should have a 50-50 chance of coming true. I wasn't going to be the bad guy and saying, are you serious? They're not. If you go back to the orphanage, which you're suggesting, to find out the information from your mother that gave you up, she's not going to do it. They're not. They've already sworn to your mother that they will not release that information. He said, I didn't say that to him. I didn't say I wanted to. I didn't say it. So I said, oh, good for you. Good for you. And then I thought to myself, after he left, I thought, gosh, he'll never find his biological mother. And he said he wants to find his biological mother and have her be excited when she sees him. I have to admit, I thought, this guy's crazy. It's not going to happen. 6 months later, we're at a wedding. I see him. Steve, come here. I'll never forget this. He pulls out of his suit coat pictures. He pulls them out, and I'll remember where he put them. He put them on a piano. And he goes, look at, there's pictures of my mother. I found my mother. Look at, there's her and I together. And there was this woman smiling like she was really glad to see this guy. I was like, wow, this stuff really works. So even though sometimes it should have a 50-50 chance of coming true, a goal, sometimes it might have a 2 or 3% chance, and it'll still come true. So let's go. Let's start today. Goals. Only 5% of people have goals. That means 95% of people do not have goals out there in the world. Today, you're going to take care of that. You're going to be part of the 5%. Many people are depressed out there in the world because they're not getting what they want. Isn't that interesting? That 5% of people have goals. There's a lot of people that are bummed out, like, oh, my life's not great. Maybe it's not great because they're not setting goals. They're not creating the path for what it is they want to be and do and have this year, next year, and the next 5 and 10 years. There's some mistakes in setting goals, by the way. Some are too big or too many or not specific. You want to make sure they're specific and not written. Not written is probably the most important thing that I want to share with you right now. That they say a goal, if it's written down, something happens that triggers things in the brain to make sure things happen out in the world, to bring things to fruition, to bring your goal to fruition by having things set up. So it's like a magical thing to write down your goals. I know it sounds like it's old school, like writing them down, I'm just going to think about them. Well, a goal in your brain is a wish or a dream. When you write it down, it brings into this reality, into this realm of existence. So you want to make sure, we'll do it today, and you want to make sure that when you have a goal, you write it down. Real important. 2 reasons why only 5% of people have goals. This is my point of view. One, they were never taught. Now, my parents were born in 1910 and 1914. They lived during the Depression. My mother said to me one time, Stephen, you're a dreamer. I said, I know, Mom, I am, and I'll never stop dreaming. Why? Because I can. But she couldn't, and neither could my father. They were into survival. Just get a job, do what you have to do, make the money, pay the bills. But we don't live in that world anymore. So maybe it is that why 5% of people have goals is because they were never taught. The other one is fear of failure, fear of being laughed at, fear of not making it, and people going, what did you think? You want to write a book? Are you crazy? You want to start your own business? What are you thinking about? So that's why I think only 5% of people have goals. Let's talk about being clear. The clearer you are in your mind, the clearer the result will be out in the world. And the fuzzier you are in your mind, the fuzzier the result will be out in your world. Meaning this, you say, I want to make more money this year, but you don't say how much. So I'm the grantor of all wishes, and you made $50,000 last year. And I say, hey, no problem. This year you made $50,000 and you found $1 on the street. Hey, I gave you your wish. You go, that's not what I meant. Well, that's not what you said. You said you wanted to make more money and you made an extra $1. You go, no, wait. I want to lose some weight. See, some weight is so vague. How much weight do you want to lose? You want to lose 10? You want to lose 20? You want to lose 30? You got to say exactly what it is that you want. Because the clearer you are, the clearer the result. The fuzzier you are, the fuzzier the result will be. Life without goals is simply wake up in the morning, take a shower, grab some coffee, get dressed, go to work, have lunch, go back to work, come home, have a little dinner, watch a little TV, go to bed, wake up the next day, grab a little breakfast and coffee with a shower, go to work, and then have lunch, then go back to work, and then come home, and then have dinner, and then watch a little TV, and then go to sleep, and then wake up the next day and have coffee and take a shower and get dressed and go to work and then have lunch and then go back to work, and then you'll be at dinner, and then you'll have, I can go on and on. See, what's going to happen if that's the case is that you'll look in the mirror one day and you'll be 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, and you'll be shaving or you'll be putting on your makeup and you'll go, wait a minute, where's the last 10 years of my life gone? And all of a sudden you'll realize that you've just been going through the motions. That's why life with goals is very, very, very important. And goals without action, you can write them down all you want. But if you don't take action, it's hallucination. You live in a dream world. They did a survey at Yale University. They asked the graduating seniors a series of questions. This is a famous study they did years ago. They said, how many of you, to the seniors, how many of you have specific goals that you've written down, that you've begun to do something about, that you're absolutely sure about right now? And 3% of the graduating seniors fell into that category, that had goals, that had written them down, that were absolutely sure about them, that had begun to do something about them. 20 years later, they rounded up that group and found out that the 3% that had goals, that had written them down, that were absolutely sure about them, that had begun to do something about them 20 years earlier, were worth more and had done more with their lives than the other 97% put together. Now you got to figure the people that graduate from Yale are not they're not slugs. The other 97% probably were very successful. But the 3% that were focused, that had goals, that said, this is what I'm going to do with my life, were worth more and had done more with their lives than the other 97% put together. Let's talk about types of goals. Let me show you a few. Here they are. There's career goals, there's money goals, there's family goals, there's personal goals, vacation goals, weight goals, fun goals, fun goals, house goals, and you want a car maybe, friends, you want more friends, you want to spend more time with friends. There's spiritual goals, there's health goals, you want to be healthy. There's all kinds of goals. This is not just business today, okay? This could be that you want to take a vacation to Italy because you've never been to Italy and you have Italian roots and you want to go to Florence. Maybe that's what today's about. You writing out a few goals that you'd like to do. I like to think of this year I'm going to travel to Florence and Rome and, and go to Italy for a week or two. Maybe that's what it's about. Fun goals, house goals. So let's talk about your mind as like a computer. And the thoughts you put into your mind, it's like your super brain, which is your subconscious mind. Your super brain listens to the thoughts you put into your mind, and when it's like sitting down on a computer, and when you put in, this is what I want in my life, the super brain, the subconscious mind goes, got it, and begins to work on it right away. So it's so important that you watch your thoughts, because your thoughts are like you sitting down on a computer and putting them into your subconscious mind or your super brain. Let's talk about a goal. A goal is this. It's an aim. It's a target. It's something you want. It's something you desire, something you aspire to. You have passion for, undeveloped seed inside of you. Now keep this in mind. This is your want, your desire, something you aspire to. So it's something for you to accomplish. I'll tell you why it's so important that you do accomplish whatever you want to accomplish, like by, let's say, December 31st, 2018. Because that day is going to come. And when you look back upon 2018, you want to say, oh, what a great year it's been. I'm so glad I did that webinar on January 4th. I'm so glad I wrote down my goals, and I'm so glad I achieved these things. I feel great. Nobody can lose weight for you. Nobody can make you feel good about yourself. Nobody can make you feel happy. Nobody can make your life successful. You're the only one that can do that for you. So glad you're here today. A goal is something outside your comfort zone, okay? Let's say your comfort zone, right there. I'll tell you an example real quick. Excuse me. I was, rode my bike in something called RAGBRAI, Register's Annual Great Bicycle Ride Across Iowa. It was 60 miles a day, 7 days in a row. I had never ridden my bike more than 20 miles. So 20 miles was inside the comfort zone. So what I had to do was ride my bike for 30 miles. And right when I decided to ride it, when I decided to ride 30 miles in one day, my mind went to the outskirts of the comfort zone and the thoughts came in. Here are the thoughts. What? You've never ridden 30 miles. Who do you think you are? You're going to die if you ride 30 miles. What's the matter with you? You can't, you've never done it before. But I did it. And watch what happened. When I did it, my whole comfort zone got bigger. So 30 was not outside my comfort zone. 30 miles was inside my comfort zone. Then what I had to do was ride 60 miles. Because remember, the RAGBRAI is 60 miles a day, 7 days in a row. So preparing, it's the end of July. 10,000 people ride across Iowa. It's a big thing. So in May and June, I was doing this, 20 and 30. Then I had to ride 60. 60 was definitely outside my comfort zone. So what did I do? I rode 60. And what happened to my comfort zone? It got bigger. So just know that you're going to have to exit what's comfortable for you and redesign your routine and your habits a little bit for you to have and be and do what it is that you want to have and be and do. So now we go to page 2 in your participants guide. And I'm going to explain how to fill out this page. It's page 2 in your participants guide, called the Wheel of Life. So you probably have that in front of you. Here we go. Let's look at money. What I'm going to ask you to do is put a dot in these quadrants. Okay, a dot towards the outer shape of the outer place in this quadrant means you're very satisfied. You love it. A dot towards the middle means you're not very satisfied with that in your life. So if we had to put a dot in the money quadrant, let me ask you a few questions. You might say, well, I've got credit card debt, and I've got student loan debt, and I'm only paying off like the principal, or I'm sorry, the interest. I'm not even touching the principal. I am overwhelmed. I tried to buy a house. I bought my house. I don't know. I was bankrupt. No, I'm not good. So maybe you put a 2, closer to the circle. You'd put a dot where it would be a 2, 3, or 4. Or you could say, I bought a house recently, and I got that, a mortgage. I bought a car recently. I have that, but I do have no credit card debt. I got no school debt, and maybe you were bankrupt a while ago, but you've gotten out of that. You've resolved that problem. You say, I'm doing great with money. Then you put your little dot closer to the outside of the circle. Right now, put a dot in the money quadrant. Career. when you wake up in the morning and you get dressed and you leave the house, are you thrilled? Do you like your career? Then if you are, you put a dot closer to the outside of that quadrant. If you get up in the morning and you find yourself, when you get ready and dressed, and you go, oh, yeah, well, I don't know why I worked at those people. And I don't know, and you start to whine like that, maybe this isn't the career for you. So you want to put your dot closer to the circle. And if it's okay, it's just a job, you go to it, it pays the bills, whatever. Maybe it's like a 5, maybe it's right in the middle. So friends and family, I want you to split that quadrant in the middle. So take a little, your pencil, and draw a line from the inner circle to the outer circle, right down the middle. We're going to split up friends and family. And let's go to family. This is an interactive webinar, by the way. So family, you got together over the holidays or recently, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever it might be, and you got together with your family. What was that like? Was it like, this was great, I love getting together with my family, I love my uncle and my grandparents and my grandkids or whatever it might be. You love getting together with your family. Then maybe give yourself a dot towards the outer edge of the circle. Or maybe for you, it's like, my family is nuts. They drive me crazy. I don't know why I get together. We have arguments, we're yelling, nobody gets along, and you don't like getting together with your family. Maybe your circle is closer to the middle. Okay, friends. You got friends? And are you getting together with your friends? When I did this recently, I gave myself a 3. So the little dot was close to the center. And I didn't like it. I got a lot of friends, but I wasn't seeing them. As a result, what I did was organize golf outings, organize card games. I get together with my friends all the time. I would right now give myself an 8 or a 9. That would be closer to the outside of the circle. Why? Because I did something about it. When I put that 3 in there, because I had to tell myself the truth, I didn't like it. Fun and recreation. Do you, when you have a week off vacation or 2 weeks off, you do this? You do whitewater rafting? You do skiing? Do you have fun? You're like, oh man, we have a ball when we get together, and my family or my friends. Or do you, when you have a week off, you like, well, I vacuum and shop, I don't know. Maybe you give yourself, you're closer to the middle of the circle if you're vacuuming and shopping during your week off. And maybe you give yourself a little dot closer to the outside of the quadrant if you know how to have fun. Personal growth and spiritual development, I'm going to leave that one to you. Physical environment, home. What does that mean? Your car, your home, your desk. Is your desk at work organized, or is it a total mess? Is your drawers at home, are they a total mess? Is your closet a mess? Is your glove compartment a mess? Or is it all together? Your garage, your trunk, your life. You need a new roof on your house, or is it, oh my God, we need painting? Oh my God, it's a mess. Then you'd give yourself, you'd put the dot closer to the middle of the circle. Or if it's, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. You know, I got a new house. Everything seems to be I've updated. I'm doing good. My glove compartment's in good shape. My trunk's in good shape. My basement's in good shape. My garage is in good shape. So if that's the case, then you want to put your dot closer to the outside of the circle. Romance, significant other, your sweetie pie. You go, she drives me nuts. We've been married for 30 years. I have no idea what I was thinking. Then your dot would be a little closer to the middle of the circle. Or you go, I'm in love with my sweetie pie. I tell her or him, I love them almost every day. I love to get together. Then maybe your dot would be closer to the outside of the circle. Let me just say this. You do not have a significant other. You are thrilled that you do not have a significant other. So maybe you give yourself an 8, 9, or 10, or your dot is close to the outside of the circle. You say, I don't want a significant other. I'm fine. I live by myself and I'm doing great. Don't want any romance in my life. I'm fine. And give yourself a dot closer to the outside of the circle. Fitness and health. How do you feel about your body, your weight? You go, I bought that exercise machine a year ago, and I've been hanging clothes on it ever since. I joined the gym. I've been paying every month, and I have not gone. Or you say, I've been going to the gym 3 times a week. I'm feeling good about where I'm at in my life. Now, I don't know. Are you like me? I gained about 10 pounds over the holidays. Drank too much, ate too much, and now I'm like, I got to get rid of this weight. So I got some work to do myself. So there you go. You have a dot in each one of these 9 quadrants, since you have 2 quadrants, friends and family. So what I want you to do is connect the dots. Connect the money dot to the career dot to the family dot to the friends dot to the fun and recreation dot. So connect the dots. All right. Connect those dots. And here you go. It says Wheel of Life. You see that at the top, right? So if this was the wheel, as you're looking at this wheel, if this was the wheel you drove to work with today, okay? This is the wheel you drove on today. How smooth would the ride have been? Since I've been doing these goal-setting seminars and webinars for years, I have seen people connect the dots, and they look like star constellations. Very few are round, and some of them are really out of whack. So it's okay. It's okay. We're going to set goals based upon your answers to this wheel of life. No problem. On to the next page. So this is where I told you it's interactive. You got to do a little work today. It's a workshop. I know it's called a webinar, but it's a workshop. You got to work a little bit here. Here we go. I want to know from you the 5 most important things in your life. So right now, write down the 5 most important things in your life. I'll give you 1 minute. Okay, onward to the next page, or underneath that, I'm sorry. What are the 3 most important? You're going to get 30 seconds for this, okay? Ready for this? 3 most important goals, Goals, in my life right now. What are the 3 most important goals in your life right now? 30 seconds, go. Time's up. Next. And then it says make 1 change. So life and job. So I'd like you to write down 1 change you could make in your life to make your life happier, to make your life more satisfying. Okay? Or in work, I want you to, it says job, make 1 change to make you more valuable at work, a more valuable owner. Because I know some of you are owners, more employee, manager. So whatever you do, what 1 change or 2 changes can you make to make your life more happier, satisfying, and in your job you be more valuable. Like in your life, maybe you drink less, or maybe you clean out the garage, or paint the bedroom, or start to meditate, or take a Tai Chi class, or watch less television and read more books. In your job, you might want to maybe be on time more often after breaks and lunch in the morning. Maybe talk less and work more. Maybe organize your desk. Maybe you leave at 5:30 or 5 o'clock because you're always there till 7 o'clock because you can't just get it done in time. So maybe you make one change to leave at 5:30. Onward to the next one. It says one thing I've always wanted to do and have been, ready for this word, put this in here, afraid to do. If you don't have a participant's guide, then just write it down on a piece of paper anywhere. What is the one thing you've always wanted to do and have been afraid to do it? Maybe it was whitewater rafting. Maybe it's skiing, water skiing, snow skiing. Maybe it's skydiving. Maybe it's telling your parents you'll love them. Maybe it's starting your own business. I'll be quiet, give you a minute. Go. Ten seconds. All right, next. The next page, top of page 5. Greatest feeling of self-worth, greatest feeling of self-esteem. Greatest amount of self-esteem. What, when you do this, you feel great? And it might be riding your bike. Might be swimming. Might be in the summer planting a garden and working in the garden. Might be reading. Might be volunteering. What do you love to do? And write that down. 1 minute. Ten seconds. Next is $1 million after taxes. So I know some of you are already millionaires. So, but those of you who aren't millionaires, let's say you won $1 million, or you got $1 million somehow, some way, somebody, left it to you after taxes. What would you do if you got $1 million after taxes? You got 1 minute. Go. Would you pay off your house? Would you take a great vacation? Would you buy a new car? Invest in Bitcoin? 10 seconds. Okay, last one. Wish from a genie. So if you were coming to work today and you bumped into a bottle and out from the bottle popped a genie that gave you one wish and gave you the guarantee with this one wish that you could not fail. If you did bump into this bottle and out popped this genie and gave you this one wish with the guarantee you could not fail, what would you wish for? I'll be quiet, give you a minute, and you can write that down. Ten seconds. Okay, I'm going backwards. I asked you at the very beginning of this exercise, what are the 5 most important things in your life? We're going to be setting goals in a little while, your 5 and 10-year goals and 1-month goals and 1-year goals. And they probably should be based upon the 5 most important things in your life. I have to say, when I was 27 years old, when I first did my first goal setting seminar, I wrote down 3 things. In fact, the guy says, what are some of your goals that you have in your life? I said, smoke cigarettes, drink beer, and watch football. He said, you don't care about the rest of your life? I said, no, I don't care. He said, neither do I. And it woke me up a little bit. And I began to realize, boy, I better set some goals in my life. So the 5 most important things in your life are, I would recommend, if you don't have as one of these, health, write down health. 2, this is from Dr. Joyce Brothers. She said, if you give somebody 30 seconds to write down the 3 most important goals in your life, it'll be the 3 most important goals in their life. So that was a little mirror for you to look at your goals right now in life. And then make one change. In life, to make your life happier, more satisfying, or your job to make you more valuable, I would highly recommend you begin to implement these things in the next week or 2. Because remember, December 31st, 2018 will come. And you want to say at the end of this year, I feel great about my life. I'm more satisfied. I'm happier. In my job, I've got a promotion. Or I like my job more. One thing I've always wanted to do and have been afraid to do, you want to make sure you don't die with this not being accomplished. Don't let fear get in the way of you achieving your goals. Greatest feeling of self-worth, greatest feeling of self-esteem. When you do it, you love it. You feel great. You want to do this more often. I did a seminar for Hollywood Casino, and this guy had to be 55 years old. He was a manager. He said, I like to golf and swim, man. I love doing that. I said, you do it enough? No, I don't do it enough. I'm like, how come? He said, I just don't find the time. So if you have things like that turn you on, that you like to do, find the time to do them. And then $1 million after taxes. Maybe some of the things you wrote down, maybe, just maybe, you can do them without winning the $1 million. That's how come I snuck up on you a little bit. You might put down, buy a new car. Do you need $1 million to buy a new car? Maybe not. So maybe some of the things you wrote down, you can have without the $1 million. And then a wish from a genie, they say if you can write it, you can have it. So that right there could be, mine was, when I was 27 years old, I wanted to have my own seminar business. It took me 20 years. Then when I was 47, I ended up having my own seminar business. So right now I'm living a dream because I wrote down when I wanted to wish from a genie that I had my own business, doing seminars, making a difference in people's lives. I am living a dream because of that right there. So we're moving on. What is the goal of yours? on page 6. What is a SMART goal? Here we go. How to accomplish any goal. That's on page 6. And on page 6, at the very bottom to the right, it's got a specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. It's a SMART goal. That's what a SMART goal is. It's got to be those 5 things. So let's talk about this for a second. You got to do a little bit more work here. I apologize. It's kind of like school, this webinar. Some people want to do a webinar, sit back, relax, put their feet up, and okay, this one's a working webinar. So what I'd like you to do on page 7 is write down a goal you'd like to achieve by December. Well, I put down May 31st, 2018. Why did I put down May 31st, 2018? I just pulled that date out of thin air. You want to make this February 28th? Go ahead. You want to make it June 30th? Go ahead. You want to make it December 31st, 2018? Go ahead. But it's a goal you want to achieve by then. So you want to be clear. It could be, it says on page 6 at the top, choose a SMART goal you feel you can work with. It should be one that's important to you. It could be a business goal. It could be a personal goal. Whatever you want. And then write it down. I'll give you 30 seconds. I will. Probably should say that. I will. Okay. And then it says, this is the most important step in goal setting. Writing a goal down is the, in fact, most important step in goal setting. And make sure it's specific. Then ask yourself when you reread this goal that you just wrote down, is it specific? Is it believable? Should have a 50-50 chance. True. I've seen some people that made $50,000 the previous year say, I want to make $1 million next year. You know, you got to take it easy when you say I want to make $1 million when you made 50 the year before. It doesn't have an accomplished date. Obviously it does, May 31st in this case, or you maybe changed it, which is fine. Am I willing to do what it takes to accomplish this goal? Very important question you must ask yourself. Are you willing to do what it takes to accomplish this goal? And then the benefit page. Underneath that, write down the benefits of having this goal completed. Benefits for your customers, your coworkers, your manager, your other locations, if it was a business goal, or your family, friends, neighbors, maybe the entire world. And they say the more benefits you can write, the more likely it'll come true. So 30 seconds on benefits. Who will benefit? Write those down. All right. And then we're on to the obstacle page. What are some of the things that you think will get in the way of you accomplishing your goal? So it could be your thoughts, yourself, like that I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough experience, or I'm not smart enough, or I've never done it before, or I don't have enough money, or there's not enough time. So I'll give you 30 seconds to write down the things that you think will get in the way of you accomplishing your goal. Go. All right. And then I'm going to leave this for you to do later on. Write down all the things you need to do to accomplish this goal. So you jot them down, You have to, check on this person and talk to this person and do this research and get this loan and whatever it might be that you need to do. And then after you do that, prioritize that list by putting a 1 next to the one first thing you have to do, a 2 next second thing, 3 next third thing, 4 next to third fourth thing. So what you're doing is learning how to achieve any goal. We just used one goal that you'll achieve by, May 31st, but it could also be December 31st or whatever goal you wrote down. This is how to achieve any goal. This is the process you want to use, foolproof process you use to accomplish this goal. And then you develop a game plan based upon the information. At the bottom of the page says I would recommend you create a game plan for yourself of what you'll do and by when. And do it so today's January 4th. I mean, the weekend I'd have it done by, tomorrow night. I mean, you can work on it tonight. You can work on it tomorrow night. Maybe Saturday at noon. That would be January 6th at noon. You'll have this done for yourself. Then it says get support. Develop within yourself a cheerleader, a parent figure, somebody that's going to support you going through the difficult times. Develop a confident you. I can do this. And consult with a professional, somebody who's done it before, that can assist you with the problems and the obstacles that you may be facing. Join a mastermind group or create a mastermind group. 4 or 5 people that meet once a month. They'll support you in achieving your goal. Or get an accountability partner that you meet once a month or once a week. I just talked to my accountability partner who she's a speaker. And she lives in Minneapolis, and we talk once every 6 weeks. Good stuff. She supports me in what I want to do. I support her in what she wants to do. Visualize, very important process. You want to close your eyes and relax your body with this deep breath and imagine that goal that you wrote down as if it's already completed. And then you relax again with your deep breath. And you relax your mind, do it again, deep breath, relax both, and then you visualize that goal that you wrote down, and you make it as clear as possible. They say there's a law of the universe, the same way the law of gravity. If you take a pen and you let the pen go, it will go down. It will hit the ground. That's the law of gravity. They say there's a law that says if you can keep something up in your mind and have it be there long enough and it's clear enough, it must come true out in the world. How's that for you? Page 14, 15, and 16, by the way, are templates for you to use to improve your time management skills. So keep that in mind. That's for later on. But right now, I want you to go back to page 9. And I want to talk about your 10-year goals. And I'm going to give you a minute for each of these, but when you write down your 10-year goals, keep in mind the answers you gave yourself to the questions that I asked you. Go back to the chart, the Wheel of Life chart that you filled out. So right now, how old are you going to be in 10 years? You want to write that age down there. And you say, you're so mean to make me put down my age. I don't mean to be mean. I mean to have to wake you up a little bit to realize this is going to come. So if you're 54, you write down, I'm going to be 64. You go, oh my gosh. Or you're 32. You're going to be 42 in 10 years. It's okay. It's okay. You write down your age, and you got the date there, January 4th, 2028, and then write down what are some of the goals you'd like to accomplish in 10 years. You got a minute. Go. You want to make sure you include healthy, and I'll be very healthy when I'm doing these things. Maybe you'd like to write a book, or be living somewhere warm during January, February, March, or to have a certain amount of money in the bank. What does your life look like in 10 years? 10 seconds. All right, I want to talk about this for a second. When I first did this, I thought, are you nuts? You want to know what I'm going to be like, what's going to happen in 10 years? I have no idea. So I wrote down all these things. I'll never forget this. I wrote down that I wanted to have this wonderful, beautiful wife and 3 kids. And the guy says, well, you better describe that wife and those kids. Okay, well, here we go. She's beautiful and she loves me because I'm a little crazy. She can put up with me. And the 3 kids are going to be healthy and happy and good in sports and have a lot of friends. I put down that I wanted to be a broker on the board of options exchange. I put down that I wanted to make $100,000 in 1 year. I put down that I wanted to have my own seminar business. I put down all these things. 10 years later, I remember I put down I wanted to live in the mountains in Denver. In 10 years and about 1 month later, I had moved to Livingston, Montana. And I had that wonderful wife. And you know what? I still have her, so to speak, have her. She's my wife. We've been married 36 years, and I'm still crazy about her. I have those 3 kids. They're very good in one sport, each one of them. They're smart. They got a lot of friends. They have great personalities. I was a broker on the board of options exchange. 1 year, I'm not kidding you, I got a bonus check of $100,000. My salary was $20,000, but the bonus was $100,000. And then I moved to Livingston, Montana. The view I had 10 years previous to that of the mountains was the same view I had when I lived in Livingston, Montana, out my front room window. So it might seem silly or this is nuts, but I'll tell you, if you have goals that you haven't written down here, that you come up with tomorrow, the next day, write them down. Go back to this participants guide, write them down. Let's go to the 5-year goals. January 4th, 2023. How old will you be in 5 years? That's the last time I'm going to ask you how old you're going to be. So you say, I want to be healthy and whatever. So I'll give you another minute to write down your goals. And your 5-year goals probably should be based upon your 10-year goals. Should you be halfway to your 10-year goals in 5 years? In some cases, the answer is yes. 1 minute, go. Ten more seconds. Now, don't forget to look back into your participants guide and look at the answers you put down for the wheel of life, the dots you put down in those quadrants, and the answers. You know, the answers to make one change at life, make one change in your job, one thing that you've been afraid to do, greatest feeling of self-worth, greatest feeling of self-esteem. Let's go to the 1-year goals, my 1-year goals, and that is January 4th, 2019. That's going to come. That is going to come. So I'll be quiet and let you write down your 1-year goals that you'd like to accomplish. Maybe that trip you'd like to take. Have that underneath your belt. Or the amount of money you want to be making. Or be in a certain kind of shape. A weight goal. I'll be quiet and let you write down your goals. 10 more seconds. All right, now we're going on to the 6-month goals. And 6-month goal is, isn't this amazing? It's July 4th. So we've got January, and then February, and then March. So all of a sudden it started to get nicer outside. April, May, June. Okay, you're going to be, it's coming. 6 months coming. July 4th is coming. What would you like to have accomplished in the next 6 months? July 4th. 1 minute, go. Ten more seconds. Are you having fun? I mean, isn't it kind of exciting to write down what you'd like to achieve? You know, like, this is my life. This is great. It is. Are you having fun? Yeah, have fun doing this. We're going to do one more. My 1 month goals. So this is February 4th, 2018. It's only a month away. This is going to be where you're going to start a program, you know, start the workout program, or start the, you know, maybe lose a few pounds or whatever it might be. Or what would you like to start? 1 month from now, hopefully you'll be starting something, and you've changed your routine so much that this is a habit now, a successful habit you've adopted. 1 month goals, 1 minute, go. Ten more seconds. There it is. All right, congratulations. If 5% of people have goals, well, you're part of the 5% now. You have your long-term, short-term, and intermediate goals written down in a book. Now, keep in mind that, like I said, this afternoon, tomorrow, the next day, you're like, this was frustrating. I wanted to write more goals. No problem. Take the time for yourself and don't have any interruptions. No internet or social media, or no computer or whatever, just by yourself. Sit down and begin to imagine what you'd like to accomplish in the next month, 6 months, year, 5 years, or 10 years. The 10 keys to success in achieving your goals are on page 17. Here they are. Write out your goals or affirmations daily. Read them out loud so you can stay focused. Visualize your goal as if it was already completed. Very powerful exercise. I used that to get a job down at the Board of Options Exchange 1 year. I was the 4th least likely to get the job. Out of 6 people, I got the job. I don't tell negative or unsupportive people what my goals are. I just don't share that with them. I'm not interested in people going, what are you? What are you, crazy? You'll never be able to do that. Be organized. Be unfocused. folks, the thief is a thief. Go for it in your life. Laugh at your mistakes. Make sure you maintain balance and focus in your life. And be kind, understanding when you make a mistake, when you don't achieve your goals. And have fun. What the heck? Laugh a lot. And appreciate things and people that could be a lot worse. Look at people that have gone through earthquakes or floods in the last 6 months. And if you haven't been through that, you go, I got it pretty good. So setting goals, Brian Tracy says, is the most important skill an adult can master. So thank you for being here today. Christine, I'm guessing there might be a few questions.
Right now we don't have any questions that have popped up, but I have a very quick question for you. You had mentioned something about an accountability partner. Can you tell me, because people probably think, oh, now I have to share my goals with somebody and check in with them. Can you tell us just briefly what the benefits are to doing that?
Well, it's got to be someone, by the way, you trust and that you like and that you trust that'll support you when you possibly become a wimp and go, I don't know if I want to do this, or I don't know if I can do this. So it could be a business partner or a friend or a colleague, and you meet with them every whatever it might be. I had an accountability partner. We met once a week on Monday mornings. He was in California. It was 8 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock his time. He sent to me on Sunday night all the things he was going to accomplish for that week. I sent him all the things I was going to accomplish for that week. Then he'd hold me accountable. We'd go through them line by line. What about this? Did you call this person? Did you do this? You said you were going to exercise. Did you do that? So he holds me accountable, and I held him accountable. The same thing I do with my accountability right now, partner, that's a woman that I talk to every 6 weeks. Same thing. So find somebody you like and trust, and that's going to support you, and then set a time where you guys can meet every whatever.
Yeah, make sure that time is set and on the calendar consistently.
And it's good to be supported in that way by somebody else. It holds you accountable.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let's see. It looks like maybe a couple questions came in. So one of the questions is, and I think this is to all the panelists too, is like when you went for a job and were least likely to get it and ended up with the job, how did you convince yourself it was yours, even when all the odds said otherwise? So basically, if you thought you weren't qualified, but they saw something in you that maybe you didn't see, I guess, how do you go in with that confidence and feeling like, yeah, that's my job. I got that job.
Okay, great question. What I did was that I rode the train down to Chicago, and I wanted this job because it was going to pay me a lot of money. It had good benefits, and I had 3 little kids. So when I was riding down the train, I'd put down my Wall Street Journal that I was reading on the train, and I'd imagine these 2 guys in New York, because the 2 guys that interviewed me were from New York, in sweat clothes on a Saturday. And they go, hey, I think Steve Beck's the one for the job. The other guy said, I think he is too. I never knew who else applied for the job, but I kept how positive I was, and I kept my confidence up. I can do this. I can get this job. It was 6 months later that my boss sat me down. My boss in Chicago sat me down and said, I got to ask you something. How did you get this job? Because there was 3 other people that were more qualified than you. How did you do it? I did not say to my boss, well, it's called creative visualization. And you sit down. I did not do that at all. I said, I don't know how I got the job. But I knew that what I did was imagine myself working for that company and imagine these 2 guys in New York saying Steve Beck's the one for the job. So I think I created that job myself by visualizing myself having it.
Perfect. Thanks, Steve. And then I have one more question from one of our people asking whether that she's very successful in already accomplishing her goals. So will the skills that you're talking about still benefit her?
Say that again.
That she's already very successful at accomplishing her goals, and she wants to know if the skills you're talking about would still benefit her. And from my perspective, I would say absolutely. It'll help you get to your goals probably more effective and efficiently. Just wanted to hear from you about that.
and quickly. I mean, I don't know if this person has patience or not. I don't have a whole lot of patience. I want things to be accomplished. I want to get them done now. Because I think if I don't focus on my goals, they fall to the wayside. My focus and organization skills fall to the wayside. So I want to make sure that I accomplish a lot and I'm satisfied with my life, yet I still set goals. Some people think that setting goals, you can't be sad. You got to do it when you're not satisfied with your life. My life stinks, so I want to achieve these goals. Because when I achieve these goals, I'll feel good about myself. I recommend you feel good about yourself right now, where you're at, and achieve your goals. Great. But what about the future? If you want to keep on doing this and achieving goals, then you have to take this information, and if you use it, you'll get to your point where you want to be faster.
Okay, thanks, Steve. And then this will be the final question just because we're running a little behind here or a little over. The question is, what about when you get off track? How about a plan B? So I'm thinking that's the idea of having an accountability partner too, but do you have anything additional that you might want to add with that, Steve?
Well, when you begin to feel depressed and you're bummed out and you look at your life and you realize that you've quit on yourself, it's okay. By the way, everyone does it. Everyone what am I doing? I'm so stupid. I should have never done this. Because you're uncomfortable and why? All you have to do is, number one, have that accountability partner. That would be very good. But if you don't have an accountability partner, then you just got to get up, get yourself up in the bootstraps, pick yourself up and say, today is a new day. Because every day, there's a new day. Every single day, there's a brand new day. Say, today is going to be brand new. I'm going to get this thing done today. And you get yourself back on track. So when you go too far, you have to bring yourself back on track and get yourself back to it. And it might be very difficult. But after a while, you'll get in the mood. You get in the mode of the successful mode, and you'll begin to achieve and have and do what it is that you want to begin to achieve and have and do. The way to tell is look inside. Check out how happy you are. And if you're not happy, then you got to do something about it. Because I think happiness is a great barometer. Joy is a great barometer in your life.
Okay, perfect, Steve. Hey, thank you so much, Steve. It was excellent. And all of you who threw out some questions and for all of your attention throughout the entire webinar. For those of you who want to get a recording of this, maybe share it with your team, please feel free to send me an email. And once we have that all loaded up to the cloud, we'll send you that link. My email is Christine, CHRISTINE.Churchill, CHURCHILL @serviceinstitute.com. Again, Christine.Churchill@serviceinstitute.com. And we will send that link off to you. Also, if you have any additional questions that we weren't able to get to today or that you come across as you're working through your workbook, feel free to send that as well, and we'll make sure we follow up with you. So thank you all again, and have a very productive 2018, and I know you guys are going to achieve your goal. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, thank you, Christine. Appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, for joining in today. Happy New Year, and let's do this.
Thank you. Take care.